everyone. I'm Kathy, and this is
Summer.
And we're Datachoir. We want to take a quick moment to just shout out our Oklahomies at Old Blood Noise Endeavors for supporting us and helping us produce our dream pedal. We also want to say thank you to all of you who've either ordered our pedal or who have demoed it. There's been some great videos out there coming out from Eric Marrow, Devon Blue Whitaker, and who else? I think Anne's doing one too. Anyways, Stefan from the Pedal Zone. We just want to say thank you. We finally have caught up with a bunch of stuff and all your orders, so we are finally attacking our own video. And we thought it'd be fun if we would just go through some of the basics, which most of you all know. But we thought we'd also tell you some of the backstory of how it all came to be. So that really started last summer when we had the blues and we were feeling really uninspired and in a rut. And we started trying to really write music, and we put the intention and goal out there to put out an EP, which then also inspired me to want to open a swag shop for Datachoir. And we thought it'd be cool if we could sell our own pedal. And who better to partner with or ask than our friends at Old Blood Noise. So we went to Brady and we asked if he'd be into helping us. And he handed us off to Dan Piacek. Fun fact about Dan, when I first met Dan, it was actually my first day visiting Old Blood Noise HQ. And we were packing up and getting ready for a video shoot in Guthrie. I believe that was actually my coffee and riffs, and coffee and riffs of another woman. I forgot her name, but she was playing the harp. But anyways, Dan showed up to work late, and he also had a mouthful of pancakes. What are you doing?
Blackjacking.
Okay. So Dan showed up to work late, and he had a mouthful of pancakes. And when he was introduced to me, I just caught that his name was Dan. I didn't hear what his last name was. So I just called him Danny Pancakes. And if you crack open your Rêver, you'll actually see on the PCB board down at the bottom that he signed the pedal D Pancakes. So that's where that's from. Okay, so Summer's going to take us through some sounds on the Wurlitzer. Thank you, Summer. This is the dry signal. I'm going to come around here because it's easier to see the pedal from the front than the back. Now I'm going to turn the pedal on, but it's still going to, you're still going to hear the dry signal because I have the delay and the reverb mixed down and the reverse is not engaged. Now, if you want to engage reverse for a moment, just press the switch. So that's reverse all by itself. So when Dan first started prototyping our ideas, he sent us our pedal in multiple boxes. And we had the delay and reverb in one box and the reverse in another box. This is the delay signal. One of the things that I requested in this delay was that when we dimed the feedback, I didn't want it to self-oscillate uncontrollably to the point where it just got loud and crazy. I asked if he could make it kind of maintain this drone sound. And with the reverb, I asked Dan to dive into some of my favorite Old Blood reverb sounds, which are more on the prettier side and less weird. Although I love modulation and reverb, I asked if he could make it very subtle. So one thing we did was he created it so the modulation would, on a low setting, would go very slow, but very deep. And then when you dime it, it gets faster, but the modulation is more shallow. Thank you, Summer. This is the organ. We'll add a little bit of delay. And now, funny thing about the protos that he sent us, as I was going back to what I was saying before, we had the reverb and delay in one box, and we had the reverse in the other box. And when I would play with it, I would put the reverse in front of the reverb and delay because I liked these very washy sounds. Very subtle. So when that reverse would go through the delay and reverb, it would just kind of add a little extra movement. But now every time Summer would play with our prototypes, she was putting the reverse at the very end of her signal chain. So it would get really glitchy and pronounced. And one day after band practice, Tomcat came over of Tomcat Pedals. He's our drummer. And we were showing him our prototypes. And we started fighting in front of him about how we preferred the reverse order. And I was like, well, I think it's really cool because it's so smooth and subtle in the front. And Summer was like, yeah, but it's really cool and interesting at the end. Especially when you dime it all the way. And we were going back and forth about it over and over again. And Tom just kind of shook his head and looked at us and was like, you could just add a toggle switch to change the order of the effects. And with that, he ended our bickering. So a few new additions. With version 2, we added this switch for those of you who might prefer latching the reverse. So that means it's always on, and you can set the blend. And then if you hit the momentary switch, it shuts it off. I personally prefer it off and then using this as like an accent and creating movement with the reverse. We also have this expression jack, so you can use an expression pedal, and basically what that would do is equivalent to ramping the reverse up and down with the pedal, which is quite nice. Another way to sort of pump the reverse. And really, adding movement to the reverse was the true inspiration to making this pedal. It's my favorite thing about it. Going through all the different iterations and ideas, Dan taught me that if I have an idea, I should just exercise it in Pro Tools. And a lot of my early ideas I thought would be really complicated and interesting. And then when I got into Pro Tools, they really just weren't a sound at all. They made no noise. So this is the product of kind of sticking true to who we are and doing what we do, which is using lots of reverb and delay. We really like this one. So thank you. Summer's going to play us out, and we're going to go back to our regular programming. Thank you, Summer.